Yo, what's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Pop, pop. You know what it is, man. Come to y'all today with a little bit of news about Eddie Hearn and Deontay Wilder. Well, yeah, as of yesterday, Eddie Hearn was talking on Fight Hype, man, and he was talking to Nestor Gibbs on the Boxing Voice and various other news outlets about Deontay Wilder and the situation he is in via promotion and pretty much media outlets, as far as, you know, where he should take his fights, where his fights are going to be viewable at via HBO, Showtime, ESPN, DAZN, etc. So he's a free network, and that he's a free agent in that aspect. And they were also talking about, as far as promotion, him being a free agent too via DAZN, Top Rank, you know, PBC, etc., etc. So, because pretty much Al Heyman isn't his promoter, and Shelly Finkel is his manager. Lou DiBella kind of just, you know, kind of advises as well a little bit, I suppose, or he's part management as well, because I know Lou to be a manager as well. But basically, Eddie Hearn is trying to go all in, man. And like I said, you know, him and Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua got a big plan. So I think all of this goes into that plan, considering Eddie Hearn is trying to get Deontay Wilder on DAZN. He was talking one voluntary match, meaning that him take on Dominic Brazil right now, and the other two matches be against Anthony Joshua with the both-way rematch clause, talking 60-40, or even better than that, potentially even 50-50 on the first fight. And they said they're willing to fight in the USA on the first fight, when Nestor Gibbs, of course, his angle being all about Deontay Wilder and being biased in that direction, talking about will they fight in the UK or the USA first. Man, Eddie Hearn said it ain't a problem, we could get it done, the money would be there, and basically him being paid $15 million to fight Brazil, plus those contract negotiations inflating at an extravagant, you know, financial purse for the Anthony Joshua match. So the whole reason Eddie Hearn is offering this, because it's a no-brainer. You know, Anthony Joshua wants to be undisputed. He wants to get those matches on DAZN, and he wants to get that belt. So if it even takes Deontay Wilder to come to DAZN to get that belt, they should get it. And now, this is where, you know, as always, I say, Mr. Two Hands Up. Pop, pop. Gotta keep it unbiased for, you know what I'm saying, all of my boxing fans. Now, this goes for Deontay Wilder. Now, if you're looking at it from this perspective, of course, Deontay Wilder always badmouths and talks crazy about Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn stated that he ain't trying to lock you in real long. It's not going to be no 5, 6, 7, 8 fight deal. This could potentially be a 3-fight deal, 4-fight, 4-fight, depending on how everything goes. You never know. They can want to turn it into a trilogy. So, you know, with that being said, if you're looking at it in that aspect, if he goes and fights Brazil with premier boxing champions and fights with Fox, say they do that bout, he's not going to get no more than maybe, what, I'd say $2 to maybe $4 million. And $4 million, that might be a stretch. You know, most people will try to think anywhere between $7 million, but that's a hell of a stretch, because you got to look at it. Deontay Wilder still isn't that big. Yes, he boosted his profile via the Tyson Fury match, but Dominic Brazil isn't that big, even though they have a lot of beef brewing, and even if they try to push it through the press, it still wouldn't generate that much, you know, gas as far as ticket sales are concerned. And so, and it wouldn't be a pay-per-view matchup, which I think the pay-per-view thing is getting watered down anyway, with the prices being $74.99, and I don't think with our financial climate that's exactly a good thing to keep trying to push, especially with DAZN putting the matches that they're putting together, and what ESPN Plus and Top Rank are trying to do. So I don't know if that's a good move. So if you look at it from this aspect, if you're a Deontay Wilder, this is always business, man. This ain't never personal, homie. It's never personal. This is business. So you might look at it like selling your soul. I don't look at it that way. I look at it like making a smart business investment to secure for your family, considering you have a child, a special needs child, and you have a pretty rapidly building family as well. You know, so look at it like this. You could go fight Dominic Brazil for $15 million right now, which you're not getting. And as we sit, you're the odd man out You know, even though you sit on boxing's heavyweight Mount Rushmore with, you know, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury is getting basically 100 million US, 80 million pound deal. He signed with Top Rank ESPN, and Anthony Joshua is already getting 20 million a fight, over 20 million a fight, locked in with DAZN. It's got deals with Under Armour and everything else. So look at it like this: you wouldn't get that type of money fighting anywhere else. So bruh, I would take the money. You know what I mean? You would only be locked in for 3 fights. Boom. Go ahead. Get your scrap on, homie. Get those couple fights out the way and you be done. So if you look at it from that aspect, man, Eddie Hearn, it's a smart business decision, and it would be a great benefit to fight fans. It would be a great benefit to your pockets, and it would be a great benefit to both fighters' legacies as well. So we got to ask ourselves, you know, one, Deontay Wilder, what is your management doing? Because they really pretty much don't believe in your skill set at this point. Because for them to, because when has it ever been okay for anyone to walk over dollars and pick up pennies? I'm asking you, has that ever been okay? Has that ever been okay? Because I've never known anybody to walk over dollars and pick up pennies. And Mr. Two Hands Up, man, got a problem with that shit. Because if you look at it from my perspective, I see a lot of people eating, man, but you haven't been invited to the dinner table. You still sitting over at the kiddie table, you know what I'm saying, fighting for scraps with the kids, while everybody else is sitting at the dinner table and they having a mega feast, while AJ sits at one head of the table and Tyson Fury sits at the other head of the table, while their promotion and their management sit on both sides, and they're enjoying quite hefty meals, you know. So, you know, it seems like you have an appetite for, you know, success as far as filling your pockets, you know, with the you speak with it with a lot of gluttony in your voice, so in your tone. So I'm asking you this, you know, do something that makes sense, man. Do it for the people, do it for the fight fans, and ultimately, man, do something for yourself. Because you're speaking on Tyson's Fury heart and the fact that he didn't fight you and he's telling you have nothing to offer you. Here's a whole nother promotional company that's offering you money that Al Heyman, your advisor, hasn't gotten you. Shelly Finkel, pretty much, they, like I said, they've been pretty much coddling your career, knowing that you can't. They don't, you know, knowing that there's levels to the type of opposition you're facing. So if you're not getting it through them, you might need to shift your management, and obviously you need to start shifting your direction as far as what are you going to do with your career, because your career is an autopilot, my friend, and I don't see you headed anywhere. And right now, you know, that is the perfect opportunity for you to cement your legacy and have everything you want. Because if it comes down to you and your team making smart business decisions, as you said on Boxing Voice and all of that, that, you know, y'all been doing great with your career, I really can't see it. I see a bunch of backpedaling. I see a lot of money out here for you to get, but that you're not a part of, that the other two gentlemen are sitting back, they feasting and they enjoying life right now. So you need to really consider what you doing. And even if you do have management, the thing about a manager is, yeah, they manage you, but everybody around you work for you, homie. So if they work for you, you should be able to call the shots, tell people what you want done. Because when Eddie Hearn, when Joshua wanted to fight you based on what the people, his fan base wanted, Eddie Hearn went out there and he kept pushing those emails towards your way. And you said that you lost your pen and they were begging. So that just shows the type of determination Eddie Hearn had in trying to get the deal done. So I suggest that you go ahead, do what you need to do, make this fight happen, man. You need to fire your management. At least, you know what I'm saying, one thing I can say about Bob Arum, he might be old, 86 years old, man, but this man moving around, and he's sharp, and he witty, and he's making, you know, he's still innovative, even in his own age. And one thing I can say about Barry Hearn, he has that same wit. But I don't see Shelly Finkel doing anything any good for you right now. I don't see the PBC doing any good for you right now. And I see Eddie Hearn trying to make big things happen for you, you know, via, you know, that's a 50-50 contract the way I look at it, down the middle, for you and for the fans. That way, you know, everybody wins and we get the greatest fights possible. And like I said, they'll be brought to DAZN for $9.99 a month, so you can't beat that. So that would be more reason for people to get DAZN, boxing fans. So yeah, man, I just think Deontay Wilder, man, you need to look at who around you, man, and ask yourself if you're making the right decisions, man. And if you're not, you might need to shift that, you know, dead weight up off you, man, and just move towards, you know, situations that are a little bit more lucrative and boxing matches that are a little bit more exciting for the people, and purses that are more inviting to your pockets. Ask yourself, is $2 million better than 15? And when did it ever become cool to walk over dollars, to pick up pennies? Man, this your man 3K the Boss. As always, bringing y'all that fight news, keeping it unbiased, keeping it 100, man, and always telling it like it is, man. As always, I'm so serious about mine, man. Mr. Two Hands Up, pop, pop. You know what it is, the Boxing Gang Shang Sun. And as always, when we end this shit off, man, I like to say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Respect.